What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Becoming Roy podcast. I'm your host, Roy, and this show exists to help people discover who it is that they were made to be. And I do that by sharing a little bit that I know, sharing my journey, and becoming who it is that I'm made to be. And lastly, finally, by having conversations with people that are living inspired lives and doing what it is that they feel they were made to do. I've said that for 12 episodes, and I finally have my first ever guest. I'm pretty hyped.
Let's go.
This is my good friend. He is a worship leader. He's a gospel worker, missionary. He is a bonehead. I met him when he was 12 years old. And so really excited to have a conversation with you, David.
Yeah.
And
the name is David Candler.
David Candler. David Candler. DavidCans.com, I guess. Davo Cans. Okay.
Known by some.
All right. So I'm very excited because you are my first guest. So you're going to kind of have to help me. I'm going to lean on you because you said that you are a podcast connoisseur.
Yeah, it's true.
Shout out Theo.
Maps podcast.
Shout out Maps podcast. Plug. Shameless plugs. Okay. So let's start with introducing yourself.
Yeah.
A little bit about who you are and what you do.
Okay. All right. Yeah, my name is David Candler. I am a missionary. I would say that is my main title: worship leader and missionary.
Okay. I also don't want to assume that people know because we talk about a lot of different topics. This isn't just a faith and Christian podcast. Yeah. And so when you say missionary, what exactly do you mean by that for someone that has no idea what you're talking about?
Great question. In the Bible, in Matthew 24, Jesus says, "Go therefore and take the gospel to, every nation and people group." And he says, "And then the end will come," essentially saying that in order for Jesus to return, the gospel has to be preached in every place, in every people group. And I have given my life for that cause, to take his name where it's not known, specifically in the most unreached, which is broadly in the Middle East, in the 1040 window, which is a weird way to say it. It's just the longitude and latitude of the map, all across the Middle East, where there is not a church or Christian expression. So that's what we're going to plant. And that's what I'm giving my life to go plant in East Africa. And it's through an organization called Maps Global, which I kind of decided when I was a senior that I wanted to go do something. I didn't want to do college. I always knew I didn't want to. I did so many years in class and in school. I was like, there's no way I want to go do 4 more of this. So honestly, a gap year where I could go not only see the world, but discover what the Lord is doing in other places in the earth seemed really fascinating. And I kept hearing this name, Maps Global, and it's this place in Virginia. It's a church. It's a house of prayer, which just means they do worship and prayer regularly. And it's a sending organization. And I did their school 10-month program. And now I'm going to the Middle East for 2 years.
2 years. Okay.
So
I want to back up just a little bit.
Yeah.
So you said a missionary is you go and you preach the gospel.
Yes.
So you literally, you're from Kansas City.
Yep.
Born and raised. Mm-hmm. You're an American boy.
Yep.
And you graduate high school. You go to this organization. Everyone else kind of your age is going to school.
Right.
And you're like, I'm going to go share my faith with people that don't know my faith.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm weird.
And I'm weird for that. And you go to Maps. And then it's a school. Tell us a little bit about the school. So how long was it? You said 10 months?
Yeah.
And was that all training? Was that all in Virginia?
Yeah.
Did you go anywhere as part of your school training in that 10 months? Tell us about the schooling.
Yeah. So after high school, I went to, Maps Global's in Virginia, and it's a 10-month program, essentially like a school year. So August to May was the timing I was there. The first semester, 6 months, was, training, learning a lot of theology. It was really healthy because I kind of was at a place where I wasn't in my parents' house going, actually, what do I believe because I believe it? Because it says in the Bible and because it makes sense, honestly. So there was a lot of training in theology, training in how to preach the gospel, not only in America, but in a Middle Eastern context where Islam is predominantly the religion. And then there's time where we worship and pray together as a team. And we're also part of it's a local church. So we're very in that community aspect. And then we're also evangelizing in Richmond, in the city of Richmond. That was kind of the first 6 months. Then we did a little window of training for specifically the Middle East in January.
Okay.
And then I launched for 90 days in the Middle East in February to May. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's crazy. I feel like there are a lot of times we do things in life, not just you, but a lot of us. And it's like, it sounds a little crazy when I just say you graduated high school, everyone's kind of going to school. And then you're like, yeah, I'm going to go share the Jesus to people that you don't even speak their native tongue.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so you went there for 90 days.
Yeah.
You came back and then you jumped on staff, or what is it? What was just the progression? Because you said you're about to go for 2 years.
Yes.
Tell us about graduating. Like, was that May of last year? And then like, what's been May from graduating to like now? What's been that journey like up until about to leave?
Yeah. So high school, I graduated May of 24, started the school in August of 24. And then I did that 90-day placement outreach in the Arab Gulf, but the students actually get the opportunity to travel to another location. There's 7 different locations across the Middle East that MAPS has connections to, or bases. And so we got to go to a different one just for a 10-day period and kind of see like tasting another culture even. And so I went to East Africa. That's actually the place that I felt the most connected to, fell in love with those people. I mean, they became brothers overnight. And honestly, it's like, it was more than just Arab culture, I would say. The level of deep love from just like even being a dude, like in America, in your friend group, sometimes guys just have this like cap of, I want to keep my cool, and we'll get intimate and relational like every once in a while, but you never want to like break the funny. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's like this stigma around it. And they just wear their heart on their sleeve. It's 100% genuine. And at first I was like, ooh, I mean, like, I love you too, but like, you know. And so I ended up loving it so much though. And I was like, man, I was talking to the Lord. I was like, Lord, I would love to do life with these people in the next season of my life. So coming back to America that May, a lot of reasons I didn't go right onto staff, but essentially I wanted to take some time to even consider, okay, before I just go for 2 years, because I'm on this like honeymoon of like the Middle East, like, let me just take time to pray about it and be with family, be with friends, kind of keep my options open. So I got a job here, kind of did life with friends in Kansas City again. My family was in the midst of a big transition. They just moved away, so that was a part as well. But before I wanted to go back for 2 years, I knew that I was like, man, I just went for like 1 week in this place. So before I go for 2 years, I should probably go back. And so
smart.
I went back to the Middle East without the organization.
Oh, really?
In November. Yeah.
You just
got
went
a
to the
plane ticket.
base that the people you connected with.
Yes.
No way.
They housed us. Yeah, they housed me. They fed me and my sister are going. They housed us. They fed us. It was amazing. And we were like, man, we thought we loved these people in April. And the relationships deepened. It was a really special time. And it really sealed it. It was like, okay, yeah, this is the place. These are the people that I want to be with. And then I joined staff in December. Honestly, that trip was really significant, so much that I was like, yep, this is it. So I joined staff. And now that is my official role on staff, is to go be a part of planting a fully established base in this region.
And when you say base, what does that mean?
Base means,
I want to
great
talk
question.
to the people that know nothing.
Yeah.
That know absolutely nothing, to kind of help them understand, because what you're doing is weird.
Yes. It's niche.
It's niche, and it's perfect, because this show is about people doing what it is that they feel they're made to do.
Yeah.
Or whatever their assignment is, or their calling, or their destiny, or whatever it is. And
Yeah.
so this is like a really niche thing. So I want to talk to people
100%.
that know nothing. What is a base?
Think of it like a church plant. We are going to there's already connection there. We're going to bring a little bit of the organization from Richmond, kind of merge communities together, build a church where there's worship and prayer, worship to Jesus, prayer together in community. There's also outreach and evangelism to Muslims. And then also, I already said it, church, worship and prayer, and outreach. Yeah, that's essentially a base.
That's a base.
But it's good to think of it like church because in my personal opinion, when you look at the church in Antioch in Acts 11, it's more specific. It is the way that church should be run with those three things together.
And those three things being?
Worship and prayer, community, church, and then outreach and evangelism to the lost. So
okay,
that's what I'm planting, and I'm going this fall.
This fall?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Time's flying.
Yeah, for sure.
Time is absolutely flying. What month is it now? It's March?
Yeah, for sure.
So you're going to go spend some time in Virginia?
Yeah. Pre-deployment, there's going to be a little bit more training, inner healing, mental health assessment. They really care about healthy missionaries, praise the Lord, the team in Richmond. And so, yeah, I'll be doing a little bit more training, and then I launch out in September.
Okay.
But
you've mentioned health a few times.
Yes.
Can you talk about health? Because I know that I've shared a little bit with you about, I'll just talk to, I've told David that I feel very skeptical about certain aspects of what he's doing, of what you're doing, just because of the experience that I had.
Yeah.
And so I think a big part of that is because I personally have not experienced a lot of health in ministry, whether that be financial health. I mean, really all the areas of health that I'm actually pursuing right now: financial health, physical health, mental health, relational health, vocational health.
Yeah.
And so I think some people might hear this and be like, oh, like, no, David, don't go because there's burnout or whatever. But you've said health 3 times and we've been talking for 15 minutes.
For sure.
What does that mean? They care about health. Can you talk to me about what is healthy about what you're experiencing?
Yeah. I mean, you just named off a lot of their core values for in every single community member are those 5 or 6 things. Are you growing in them? And I think really the difference of what you might have felt and what I even have felt in ministries before is there's this stigma behind being a young person and being a part of what's new and what's next in terms of like a, like you want to be a part of, not the program, but the new movement, like the worship and prayer movement or the church movement and everything. And at least at MAPS, their heart is not about that. They actually first care about the health and longevity of the community and the missionaries. And that was huge.
What does that look like?
Yeah.
What does that look like?
So in terms of the school, I had a meeting weekly with one of the leaders who walked with me. And every week we would revisit those 5 areas. He'd be like, how are you doing mentally, relationally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially? And it was the first meeting we had as a team. The leader of MAPS, the president of all of it. He goes, look, if you're here for 10 months or if you're here for 10 years, it does not matter. All that we care about is that you leave better than you came in.
Wow. And
that just took the pressure off. Like, oh, I don't have to come see how I can fit into this movement. Yeah. And the pressure came off. And then I had those meetings weekly, was understanding how relationships in terms of the second commandment, like love, is we can often put it.
What is the second commandment?
Yeah.
I want to speak to the people that know nothing.
For sure. So the first commandment Jesus says is love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And the second is like it, love your neighbor as yourself.
And so they were doing that
I
you
would
weren't
say
experiencing before, like you hadn't experienced that way before?
There was way more of an emphasis because a lot of times I can feel like I was in places where the first commandment was always first place and the second was on the back burner. So everybody's loving God, great, but this is not going well.
So we're going up.
Yeah.
Like this.
Exactly.
Up and down, but we're not going, to the people right next to us.
Right.
That's actually really cool that you're saying that, because I think I've shared a little bit about my coming to faith as of recently,
Mm-hmm.
or just like this reawakening of loving God and being vocal.
Yeah,
Just being vocal, period.
for sure.
I've been kind of on this kick of like using my voice. We need to use our words. We need to have conversations. We need to talk to the people that care about us, whatever. But what I've been learning in that, even just today, before, I picked up some of this gear from a friend,
Yeah.
and we're having a conversation. But like, I only met that person because I was like, I don't have any, side to side community. So I'm going to go and try to find somebody.
Okay.
I found this dude, and now this dude's really going through it.
Yeah.
Okay? And I just befriended him. He's a really cool guy, makes music, likes basketball, trying to love God.
Sick.
Me kind of.
Yeah.
And then I go over to his apartment today, and he's telling me that some dude that he and I met playing basketball at a park reached out to him because the guy that we had met was going through something similar to what my friend had experienced. It's it's cool. What I'm learning is the second commandment is cool to like receive.
Yeah.
But as you do the second commandment, you actually give.
Right.
And so like, I didn't know that I could help my friend. 'Cause I just wanted to, I was just looking for a friend, someone that's cool, similar interests, trying to love God. I've helped him just by having conversations and be like, dude, come on, like, let's get out of the house. Let's go play basketball, whatever it is. He did that. And now because we met this other person, now he's connected with somebody. So I don't know. I just think that's cool. It's something that I've just kind of realized recently. It's not just to receive the second commandment, but it's also like to give.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Continue with health.
Yeah.
Unless you had thoughts on.
I mean, even on that, one thing I realized going to the Middle East is, in terms of loving somebody the best way you can and sharing Jesus, I think a lot of Christians can go wrong, take it the wrong way in terms of when it comes to preaching the gospel. I think a lot of people, even unbelievers, have an idea when they come across a Christian going, hey, do you want to hear about Jesus? And let's just say they do. They feel your words touching them, and then they say, I want to give my life to this. That's amazing. Take you through a prayer. Peace out. That is not the biblical way of making a disciple. And what I'm realizing is it's actually like walk with somebody. And over time, they see the way that you're living and the way that Jesus is shining through you. And I think that is the way to make disciples. It's like life with somebody.
It kind of takes the pressure off.
Yeah.
Like you just got to try to love God and just like leave your house.
Right. Exactly. You don't have to like gird up boldness and go talk to people on the street.
Yeah. You don't need to like know everything.
Yeah.
You just try to love God and open your mouth.
And the people closest to you might be the ones that you end up discipling without even knowing it. Like you're saying, you're like, I didn't even know I could help my friend. But yeah, so that's cool.
Do you have any stories okay, so 2 thoughts.
Yeah.
The first thought is I love that you said they're kind of like against a movement. It's not the next movement or like the stigma of like, we got to get with the program.
Yeah.
Because what you said 2 minutes before that was actually, we're just trying to do Acts 11. So you're just trying to do something that's 2,000 years old.
Yeah.
This isn't like the new thing.
Yeah.
It's like, no, let's just get back to basics.
Right.
So that's the first thing that I think is cool that you said something about. The second thing, if I can remember, I feel like we're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I feel like we're kind of killing this.
I don't know. I'm not going to know till I watch back.
Yeah, 100%. The second thing is I want to know, like, is there a story or tell me what it's like when you were there?
For sure.
You're in the Middle East and you're just doing life. What does it mean to just do life?
Yeah. For sure.
In the Middle East.
Okay.
Language barriers,
Uh-huh.
cultural barriers. I mean, tell me about some of your culture shock.
Yeah.
Like, I want to hear it like I'm hearing it for the first time because I kind of am.
Yeah. The place I went for 90 days was not the place that I'm going back to for 2 years. So this place specifically in the Arab Gulf, it was very westernized, very modern, very wealthy.
Oh,
So that was the culture shock in itself was, oh, I'm going to be a missionary. And what I thought a missionary was in my head is not this. It's not wearing nice clothes for respect. It's not eating well and staying in a nice
so you're like
house.
dripped out.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm bringing like button-up shirts and linen pants, and so it's
That's
like
tough.
you know.
You were probably eating that up.
Yeah.
I know you love your fashion, dude. You were eating that up.
Okay, but I was expecting the 90 days to not worry about any of that.
But
yeah,
like,
sure.
oh no, linen pants. Oh no, drip.
True, I did like the linen pants. They're breathable.
Dude,
but
that's it.
anyway,
Okay, so it's not what you expected.
for sure not.
Because this is what I picture when I hear missionary. Africa,
Right.
poverty, huts,
Feeding people.
feeding. And this was not what you're doing.
No. 100% no. And because in reality, missionary doesn't just mean go to the poor. It's when you look at the Bible verse, go to every ethnos and people group. I mean, the places in which his name is known the least is in the Middle East. And so it's not like we get to pick and choose in terms of where MAPS is deciding to go send missionaries. So I went to the Arab Gulf for 90 days. That was a part of the culture shock. And in terms of what I found about discipling people was that very thing. It's like you go up to a Muslim and you go, hey, you want to know about Jesus? And they're like, yeah, he's a prophet. We respect him. What about him?
That's like a normal interaction.
Yeah.
Wait.
No. Sorry. I'm saying if you take the idea of a missionary in America and try to plug it into the Middle East, the conversation is going to be way different because religion is a way of life for them. It's an everyday thing. Their whole family is Muslim, normally, in most cases. Their ancestors have been Muslim, and it's like a call to prayer 5 times a day.
And they
praying.
practice.
Yes. They're practicing. It's what they eat. It's the way they talk. It's everything. Every greeting has to do with their religion, every goodbye. And so when you bring in like, hey, do you want to know about Jesus? It's like, it's a normal thing to just talk about religion. That was cool for sure. But I had to change the way I thought about reaching the unreached in the sense of, okay, discipling them isn't going to be a quick convert to Christianity and then I'll leave and hopefully you figure it out. It's like, let's go play basketball. Like, seriously. Part of our team was staying at an apartment complex, and in the complex was a basketball court. And we do like Saturday night basketball. And that's where I met most of the dudes that I would like disciple throughout those 90 days. Like one of the dudes was 19 years old and he just became a bro. And we would just cruise the streets.
That's
like
so cool.
Yeah. And every once in a while, the Lord would open a door for me to, talk about purity or talk about, turning the other cheek, which is a teaching of Jesus, or humility, what it means to be a humble man of God. And it was just like that. But in all honesty, what I realized is, wow, 90 days is not long enough to actually walk with somebody in life and disciple them. But I got a glimpse for how it's supposed to work, essentially. But it was honestly like a lot of fun. That guy I met playing basketball. My other main connection, I met at the gym. Funny story. The way I met him was not the best. But
are you gonna?
You're
just gonna say funny story and not share.
All right, I'm doing arm day, feeling amazing. Arm day is like fun because you just go in and you're like, it's not that taxing on your body, biceps, triceps. And so I'm like at the end of my arm day, and this dude comes up to me. He's got a baggy hoodie, just an Arab guy, and he goes, "Bro, you want to arm wrestle?" And I was like, "Yes."
This dude 100%. Just comes up to
you.
Yeah,
normal. It's normal. He's like, "Bro, what's up? You want to arm wrestle?" And I'm like, "For sure, bro. I'm down." And
he cooks you, doesn't he?
Wait.
He's got this. Oh, okay.
We go over and he sets up, those like box jump pads?
Yeah.
He sets up like 5 of them and we like get ready. And I'm like freaking pumped. I'm like, this is a test of my manhood right here. And just like, 3, 2, 1, boom, I'm dead immediately. Like he knows all the techniques. He's just like,
so he's doing the wrist. Yeah.
I was cooked. I was embarrassed. I was like, I'm never coming back here. And it was awful. But I think we actually went like 2 or 3 times and I lost all of them. But yeah, so anyway, that wasn't the connection, thank God. But one of his friends after I like went on with my arm day kind of feeling down and he was like, "Bro, where are you from?" And and then we became friends and then we started hanging out.
So my takeaway is to preach the gospel. You just go to the gym, ask people to arm wrestle.
Yes.
Lose 3 times. Is that what you learned in Virginia?
I wasn't prepared for that. If you win the arm wrestle, hey, let me tell you about Jesus.
Winning convert.
Exactly. But so that was, to answer your question, That's how it kind of worked when I was overseas was, you know, one or two guys that I just walked with, and it was fun, and they were just my bros.
Mhm.
And what I love about maps for any missionaries out there or many missions organizations, what I love that they did was the long-term team, the team in that region that actually lives there. They sat our students down and said, hey, give us all your contacts so we can continue planting seeds, continue, you know, bringing the Jesus to
That's
them.
actually big because
Yeah.
I know that's a complaint,
Yes.
quote unquote, for anyone listening, with some like missionaries is
Yeah.
like it does more harm than good. You go and
Right.
you show these orphans and you know this third world country that
Yeah.
someone cares about them for 4 days, and then you peace out, and then they
Exactly.
feel abandoned again. So it's actually really cool that
Yeah.
they do that.
Like I was saying, especially in a Muslim context where if they were to convert, they lose their life.
Okay,
Their family is shamed. You know, what are you going to ask?
I have a question about
Yeah.
that because again, I just want to keep reiterating. I want to talk to people that don't know,
For sure.
and I want to get like very basic here.
Yeah.
And so Christianity, I know a little bit about that. Okay.
Nice.
Nice. Monotheistic. There's one way.
Yeah.
Any other god is an idol.
Yeah.
That's like basically Christianity.
I would add Jesus Christ in there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Jesus Christ. I mean, the creed, right? Born of a virgin, died, rose again, coming back. Like that's
Yes.
Christianity. Islam. They believe in Jesus, but as a prophet.
Yep.
Their God is Allah.
Uh-huh.
Can you tell me? That's like pretty much all I could tell you about
Okay.
Islam. Can you give me a introductory crash course to Islam and why it's a big deal that if someone converts, it's a big deal?
So I want to do this with an unbiased route
Okay.
for any Muslims out there, for sure.
Yeah.
Because I know it looking from a Christianity point of view.
And
it's-
I appreciate you doing that because
Yeah.
this is not a like Christian podcast.
Right.
I believe in Jesus.
Yeah.
That like I subscribe to that worldview. That's my conviction.
Yeah.
But I have I'm going to be talking with a lot of different people, and
Yeah.
so by no way do I want this to be like I'm shoving my worldview down anyone's throat because you believe what you. We're gonna do. We're just gonna live life, talk, and shit.
Yeah.
So I like that you preface that. So
Yeah.
yeah, unbiased. Tell me
Yeah.
objectively about Islam and the difference objectively from Christianity.
Okay. So Allah, their God, just is God in Arabic. That kind of helped me. It just means God. It's not like anyway. So they believe in one God, like Christians, and they have a high regard for the Prophet Muhammad, who essentially had a revelation from the angel Gabriel and wrote down the Quran and had a different series of revelations.
And Christianity believes in the angel Gabriel. That's in
Correct.
the Christian Bible.
Correct.
Okay.
And Muhammad was kind of the one that spread Islam across the Middle East along with his followers. And in a sense, they believe that they have high regard for Jesus as well. They believe he was a prophet, but not the Son of God.
They have a high regard for Jesus.
Yes.
So there's some reverence.
Yes,
Jesus.
for most of the prophets, even in the Old Testament. For David, for Moses, for Elijah, they know Abraham, they know all of those names, and they believe in them. Another big difference is they actually believe that Abraham sacrificed Ishmael, not Isaac. And so the sons of Ishmael were actually the ones that had the promises. That's a big difference. And honestly, I've been reading this book, learning more about Islam even, and it's been helpful. But in terms of their religion as a whole, like I don't know much of. I'm blanking on the word. There's the Quran, and then there's the. They basically have other books that kind of walk through day-to-day religion as well. It's not the Injil is the Old Testament. That's not what
We
I'm
need
talking about.
Jamie from Joe Rogan to
Literally.
look things up for
Literally.
us.
Yeah, pop that up.
Yeah, pop that up.
But-
So they have a second text.
Yeah, there's more text to kind of go and.
Is it as holy as Scripture,
It's
or is it like similar?
Yes, not Quran level, but
Okay.
for sure they hold it pretty highly.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want me to? Yeah, go ahead and ask the question.
Okay. So that's the basic difference. So there are a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
From Islam and
Yeah, they even believe that Jesus is coming back, but the role in which he plays in their Quran and our Bible is very different. They believe in like an antichrist as well. Antichrist, not really, but they believe in all of like similar eschatology, which just means the end times, what comes at the end of the age.
Muslims, Muslims believe in eschatology.
Yeah. It's interesting.
No way.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, I feel like having like coffee with like a devout Muslim would be really cool.
Yeah.
To learn about their religion.
Yeah.
Because it seems I feel like they get a bad rap. I mean, I'm just gonna stop right there. But you know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think all Muslims are like out to hurt people.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah. And even in a Christian mindset or even American, you have this idea of radical Islam as like killing Christians all the time. And really, no, it's like one of the things that they want is actually peace. And yeah, in their religion.
Okay. That's okay. Can you tell me, I'm going to move on a little bit. Because that's very interesting that they're peaceful. They're not trying to kill Christians, kill people. I think that's the stereotype sometimes. Maybe not as much now, but that definitely was a stereotype. But can you tell me why it would be a big deal for me, a Muslim, to then convert to Christianity?
So from a young age, Muslims are taught, at least from what I've heard, and from the Muslims that I know and the books I've read, they're taught from a young age how to refute Christianity. Way more than Christians know how to refute Islam.
Like apologetics.
Yes,
type.
apologetics, like why Jesus is not the Son of God, why the cross never happened, why the resurrection is false, all of these different things, why the Bible has been translated so many times so it's not valid. All of these things they're taught from a young age, and even more in depth of like how scripture contradicts itself, that Jesus tells people that he's actually not, he never claims to be the Son of God, all of these things. So in order for a Muslim to convert to Christianity, there has to be a lot of deconstruction of everything they've believed from a young age. That's just a big deal in general. And it's also a big deal because, like I said, it's a way of life. It's every single day. If they're devout and if they're serious about it, they're praying 5 times a day to Allah. And they're staying away from certain foods. And they're keeping themselves in boundaries with like sin and not doing these things like, that say the Quran says not to do. And so it's a big deal on the whole family because here's the thing. In America, the main kind of culture is, let me think, innocence or guilt. That's kind of the main culture. In the Middle East, it's honor and shame. So you'll experience that. And here, it's more of the court of law is the highest, like the end all be all, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like if you're guilty, then you're a bad person and you want to be innocent. And when you go in their context, it's more honor shame in the sense of, and I don't know if how many of them would say this, but like, let's say I steal something, like I steal a camera and run out. I'm actually not a bad person unless you catch me. And then it's shameful. So that's how it operates. And so if you were to leave the religion that you've grown up in and that your family has grown up in, it brings shame on the whole family and yourself. And so you're almost disowned. And then in some cases, in radical cases, your life could be at stake. So
big deal.
Yeah, big deal for sure.
And people are converting.
Say people are
converting to Christianity.
Yeah.
Like you're doing life with people and they are like, what's making them convert? It's not you playing basketball with them, is it? Or is it you dunking on them, baptizing them?
I mean, I pray it's Jesus shining through me, but one of the ways.
Yeah, that wasn't like to take away from, but it's like
Yeah.
you're talking about these windows and opportunities. Saying so you play basketball with him once a week. You see these guys at the gym a couple times a week. When you say like an opportunity comes up to share, what does that look like? Like actually, what does that look like?
So I'll tell a story. Basically, the place I was at in the Middle East in the Arab Gulf, there was a Cane's, which was crazy. It like just got
super Western.
Yeah. It was hype because like I was dealing with culture shock. I wanted fried chicken and it was dope. And so I was like, yo, bro, to like my Muslim friend, I was like, let's go to Cane's and then play basketball after. And so we're walking into the restaurant and he all of a sudden he looks in the window and he goes, bro, actually, let's go in this gas station over here real quick. I'm like, okay, interesting. And we walk into the gas station and he's like, let's get a drink or something. I'm like, bro, is everything good? Like, are you okay? Does something happen that I missed? And he was like, no, it's fine. I was like, are you sure? He's like, honestly, bro, I saw a group of people, a group of dudes in that Cane's, and if they see me, then things are going to go down. Basically, my group last time when we saw one of them, we jumped them. And so if they see me, it's going to get bad and ugly. And I was like, what is this, a movie? I was like, what is it? I've actually never heard of like
this
that.
This is so dumb, dude.
Anyway.
He was like, let's go. Pulls out his phone. Let's get it.
Go. Anyway. Yeah. So that was interesting. First off, hearing that. But anyway, that led into a conversation. He was like, let's just go play basketball. So we walk over to the courts. And that led into a conversation of me talking about forgiveness and what it looks like to forgive another person 70 times 7. That's one of the teachings of Jesus, is basically forgive without end. Like always just be a forgiving person. And also what it means to humble yourself and go low. And because in that honor shame culture, men have they want to be puffed up. Uh-huh. They want to be broad shouldered.
Yeah.
Big ego. And then yeah, for sure. And so to go low, to be a servant, to, be the first to apologize, all those things are countercultural. Nice.
That was my robot clankers. Sorry.
Anyway, and the Lord opened a door for me to talk to him about what it means to turn the other cheek. That's another teaching of Jesus. Of, if somebody slaps you across the face, turn the other cheek. It's almost like, how would you put that?
I mean, yeah, if someone does you wrong, then that specific teaching, I think is a very interesting thing that I actually think that we kind of misinterpret just a little bit.
Yeah, because it's not always physical.
Yeah, because there is a time and place to stand up for yourself,
for sure,
or to stand up for other people.
Yeah,
I think that's like very much in like when you're preaching the gospel. If you're actually facing persecution.
Yeah.
Which I don't think as a Western Christian that I have any grid for what persecution really is. And I don't know, maybe you have, but really experienced what that, like, what is, when Jesus wrote that, Christians were being martyred, or like in that time, like that, Jesus died for what he believed in. And there are a bunch of martyrs. So I feel like turning the cheek, is just, I actually don't know how I would, I definitely think it's in the context of preaching the gospel.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it's when somebody wrongs you. Well, maybe we should just pull up the verse.
Let's pull it up. You pull it up.
I don't want to botch it.
Yeah, we'll just watch it. Let me look it up. This is actually... I'll pull it up. Turn the other cheek. This is great. Okay, while I'm looking this up, David, I want you to share a story about... Let's do first impressions.
Okay.
You tell me if
Are you sure we want to get into that? That's a whole... No, I'm saying that's just a whole nother convo.
I guess that is. You know what? Just give me 1 second.
But yeah, just to answer your question though, that was like one of the times that discipleship, the Lord opened that door, because if I hadn't known about his friends wanting to jump him, I wouldn't have talked to him about like, humility and turning the other cheek, which here we go.
Here we go. That would have been a great segue if I was ready. Okay, so it is in the Sermon on the Mount.
Yeah.
So we're in chapter 5 of Matthew. And And why can't I find it? I'm telling you, dude, we need Jamie.
True.
I need to hire someone. 539. Okay.
Nice.
Okay, so we're in the Beatitudes, Matthew chapter 5. I'm going to start at verse 38. It says, "You have heard that it was said, eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth. But I tell you, do not resist an evil person. If anyone slaps you on the right cheek, turn to them the other cheek also. And if anyone wants to sue you and take your shirt, hand over your coat as well. If anyone forces you to go 1 mile, go with them 2 miles. Give to the one who asks you, and do not turn away from the one who wants to borrow from you."
Okay. Immediately I thought of so for instance, in this friend that I have in Dubai, in his case, it's eye for an eye.
Mm-hmm.
It's we jumped you, you're going to jump me
Yeah.
no matter what. In Jesus's case, it's no. What would it be if you actually almost it's humbling.
It's okay.
It's
I like that you said humbling.
Yeah.
First, I got to say I was completely wrong. It's not in the context of preaching the gospel at all. But I think you are hitting the nail on the head with humility.
Yeah.
I actually think that I was listening to a sermon from Zach Hensley, actually, and talking with another friend apart from listening to that sermon. And we're just kind of like, dude, I think aside from like the deity of Jesus, I think humility is kind of like the main point of Christianity.
100%. Yeah.
Which is interesting. So I agree that he's talking about humility. So to turn the other cheek, I think it just means exactly that. You know, I'm not gonna wrong you because you wronged me.
Right.
But that is countercultural.
Yeah. It's in the case of somebody is wronging you or doing you wrong or injustice. It's honestly like if somebody takes your watch and you're like, dude, take my necklace also.
You really think it means something like that?
For sure. I think there's a story about somebody doing that. I forget though. I'm not going to botch that. But
That's an interesting. I'm not
Yeah.
necessarily disagreeing with you, because if you don't know anything about Christianity or if you're like deconstructing, it's really weird. Everything we believe is based off of a virgin giving birth. That's weird.
Say 30 more seconds. What do you mean? What do you mean a virgin giving like
we believe that Jesus was born of a virgin.
Correct.
That's weird.
Yeah.
And then as you dig into Christian beliefs, it's weird. Like, it's just weird. It's to your point, to bring it back to the Muslims,
Right.
to Islam, it's countercultural.
Yes. Yeah.
That was a great little bunny trail. Turning the cheek just means don't repay evil with evil.
Exactly.
And I guess if you get robbed, give them more than they ask. I guess.
Up to your own discretion. Unless it's a Rolex.
I don't think this is a salvation point, but
sure.
if you have an experience, let us know. I'm actually very curious.
Anyway.
But
yeah, so you want to do first impressions?
no.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Should we go there? No, we're not going to go there yet. So we talked about Islam. We'll get there though, because that's going to be the fun part.
Yeah, for sure.
Stay tuned to the end.
Get them hooked.
Get them hooked. So we talked a little bit about what you're doing. You feel like you're supposed to do this.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Fits the show. We talked a little bit about Islam, what it looks like to be a missionary, some stories.
Make disciples.
Yep. You said something early on that I want to ask you about. You said that when you were at MAPS, when you were at the school in Richmond, Virginia.
Yep.
You kind of went through this little process of like, well, what do I believe?
Right.
Like, do I just believe this because, my parents were in ministry and I kind of grew up a Christian?
Yeah.
Or do I believe this because it's real, because Jesus is good, because of whatever reasons you've landed on?
Yeah.
I want to hear you talk about that progression, because I'm guilty of that a little bit. And I think there are a lot of people that we know.
Yeah.
I think a lot of my friends that were leaders when you were a student.
Yeah.
That don't believe anything that they used to. Some of them aren't even like walking with God anymore. And I think a lot of it was because bad experiences with people.
Yeah. Relationships. Yeah.
Which people will fail us.
Yeah.
And I don't think that like there was like a foundation of whatever. And so that's something I'm literally doing right now. Like I shared it on a couple episodes ago, but like I feel like I got saved again. I gave my life to God again.
Yeah.
Because what in the world what do I believe in?
Yeah.
Like it's, when you really think about it, it's weird. My worldview is based off of a virgin giving birth.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. Like I know I keep saying that,
For sure.
but that's weird.
Who also happens to be the creator of the universe.
Who like I don't try to make my heart beat.
Yeah.
My heart just beats. That's weird.
Exactly.
Like the stars, like go to a zoo. Just look at it. Look at an animal. Look at your dog.
These
like,
didn't pop out of nowhere.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's really weird. And so mix weird beliefs with not good experiences with people that share those beliefs. I'm talking about my case. I found myself at a point I was like, I don't know what the hell I believe. And so I'm grateful that I don't hate God. I'm grateful that like I'm leaning in.
Yeah.
I'm grateful that, I've been in the Bible, that I'm asking these questions. I thank God that's where I'm at, instead of I want nothing to do with you, God.
Yeah.
I still have a lot of doubts. I have a lot of questions, but I'm leaning in. But I want to hear about your story, and maybe give a really brief like story of how you grew up, so people knew like, oh, he kind of grew up in a church. Yeah. And then what did that look like to wrestle with, I don't know, what do you believe?
Yeah. So I grew up in a pretty big church. A lot of people knew about it, or I would say what church I went to. And oh, like that's cool. You're one of those guys. Uh-huh. So in a sense, growing up, I was in a pretty big bubble, and you probably experienced that too. Like a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. When we were in this ministry, it was like everybody spoke the same language. Everybody knew not everybody knew everybody, not necessarily, but
you at least knew of everybody.
Yeah.
Like there are people that I didn't know, but like I knew who they were. Yeah, they knew who I was, kind of thing. Yeah.
It was a bubble. And so the way that I thought about how I want to live my life was staying in that bubble, like forever.
Really?
Like, yeah. Like really? That, just because I had never tasted something else. So I had nothing to compare it to. I had nothing to hold it up next to something. And so it was the teachings that I heard since I was really started locking in around 14, 15 in terms of like listening to teachings, even more at 17. But yeah, when I went to MAPS, I wasn't in my parents' house anymore. I wasn't at that church anymore. And honestly, I don't know if you experienced this, and maybe some of those people that you're talking about having a hard time right now, like you could ask me, why do you believe that? Why do you believe that and not that before I went to MAPS? And I couldn't defend myself. I could not show you the Bible verses. I could not, other than raw faith and belief, there wasn't any actual like evidence to back it up. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a really important thing to find and have. Like that's what I was experiencing when I was listening to this book on a Muslim guy actually giving his life to Jesus, and all of his questions for Christians when he would debate them. I was like, oh shoot, I better know these so well, because you need to know what you believe in. Like that's the point. The point is Christians need to know what they believe or why they believe what they believe, all those different things. And so it came to the point where I was sitting in a classroom learning about not just a preferred belief system in the Bible, but all of the different ones that everybody had. I mean, Protestant, Catholic.
Really?
Yeah, like they would lay out all of them in terms of like the gospel, once saved, always saved, all these different things. Calvinism, there's so many different branches. Predestination, Pentecostal, I'm mixing beliefs and even branches of Christianity. Yeah. But
so they took you through, like, you learned about each of those.
Not necessarily like a class on each of one.
But you just kind of went through a little. Yeah,
but like overview. When we would take, like, let's say the gifts of the Spirit, for example, they wouldn't just teach on that from their perspective, but they would give, here are the gifts of the Spirit. This is what this branch believes. This is what this branch believes. This is what this branch believes about that.
Interesting.
And the students were kind of like, huh, I have to like I don't know where I line up, because you're like, well, I believe that part, but not that part,
Yeah.
And you go, wait, everybody is kind of just figuring it out. Nobody's right.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I think that's cool. I'm going to say something, but I want to get back to your process of figuring your faith out for yourself. But I'm working for a church right now.
Yeah.
That's weird. I need some better vernacular. But it's just like weird is the only word I could think of, because I grew up in a pretty much that organization that we were a part of. I didn't move there till I was 20.
Okay.
But I first went there when I was 8. And that's when faith became serious for me.
Okay, yeah.
I remember having I was leading Bible studies with the leader's notes at recess in 5th grade, 4th and 5th grade.
That's insane.
I would sit in the tree. I was perched up right on the edge of Pepper Road with that green fence. And there were like 2 or 3 kids. I don't even know if they were really listening to me.
Were they on the ground or in the tree?
They were on the ground.
I don't know how to
Dude, I've never shared this story.
Welcome, children.
Yes, literally is what it was like, dude. I'm up in the tree going through Sermon on the Mount in 4th and 5th grade.
Yeah.
And so, although I didn't necessarily grow up in proximity to the bubble shaped my theology.
For sure.
And so now, fast forward 20 years, 15 years, the church that I'm a part of is a different denomination than when I grew up. And I'm like, you guys are kind of, some of these beliefs are a little weird.
Yeah. But
they love people very well.
Yeah.
They do the second commandment better than any church I've ever seen or been a part of ever.
Let's go.
And I'm like, what do I do with that?
Yeah.
It's so just to kind of your point of like, I'm also on this journey of figuring out, what necessarily I believe.
Yeah.
But when you look at all of them, it's like, oh, there's a common thread of at least there being one way.
Right.
Yeah. And I think the other things are less important, quote unquote.
Yeah.
I say that carefully because whatever. Anyways, continue with becoming your own. You're in this class. They're kind of showing.
Yeah. Let me clarify too.
Yeah.
Because this wasn't necessarily a deconstructing of my faith. I would say that MAPS had all of the same foundation that most Christians believe in worldwide. Jesus is the Son of God. Uh-huh. He died for us. The gospel is powerful. Like, we need to preach it to every nation. Yeah. And he's returning. We believe in the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. All of those things were solid, set in stone. I wasn't going, what do I believe about that? No, it's all of the little nuances where it gets a little tricky with Christians and different denominations. Uh-huh. So that was more like, for instance, and we don't have to go off in this conversation because it's a huge conversation, but let's say a 1-year-old dies. I hope this never happens, but where do they go? Like, huge question that I had a belief system, and then my leader was like, where's the Bible verse for that? Where did you get that? And I was like, I have no idea.
Dude, that's like my favorite poll for anyone. That's like saying something I know they don't know. I'm like, show me.
Yeah, exactly.
Show me.
And it's like, oh, you're right. Like, I just grew up hearing this. Like, age of accountability. I don't know if you ever heard that phrase. But like, the Lord doesn't judge a kid until they are past the age of accountability where they're accountable for their actions and not just a baby. But that's not in the Bible. So there's like those things that, yeah. And even what I loved about MAPS is between different, even teachers, there were different beliefs that they had about those nuances, but it never hindered the love. It never came.
That's key.
Yeah.
That's key.
Because it wasn't like, we're an organization and you can't be a part of it unless you believe these things. It was, this is who we are. And, this teacher might believe something about this part of Christianity and this one might, So that was even big. Like, oh, I can work and be in relationship with somebody that has a different idea about, like, for instance, that the idea of a baby dying, where do they go? So that was big. I would also say something you said that I want to grab too is, you said, even though you weren't necessarily in the bubble 100%, like a pastor's kid, like, I'll just say it, but you still had a lot of the formed theology
Yeah.
and doctrine.
Yeah.
And I really think that comes down to you become what you behold. Like, I think that's a Christian idea, but I think it's also a worldwide idea. No matter who you are, whatever you're beholding and looking at and listening to, you're going to form a belief system without even trying to. Like, that's this ministry. It was all I heard. It was all I took in. So a belief system was formed because you become what you behold every time.
That's that's so huge too. I think like this might be a different angle at it.
Yeah.
But like when you just are thinking certain ways or like negative, like even though I feel like that even applies to like some like self beliefs.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because I can get down on myself or I can be, depressed and all these things.
Yeah.
But a month or two ago when I started like reading the Bible, I stopped thinking about certain things because I was looking at something else. Like I was looking at the Bible and I'm just reading stories instead of doom scrolling or instead of, you know what I'm saying? And I felt better. I mean, that's like a weird way to say
100%.
it. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
just to your point of like, I think what we're consuming, what we're thinking about is what we become. You behold what you become. But I think to then bring this back, I'm going to super bring it back to the second commandment.
Yeah.
When I'm thinking about God, I then begin to think about you.
You mean me?
I mean
Personally.
you. I mean you personally.
Oh, wow.
My friend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think I told you a little bit about this, but like I've been reading and then I'm like, oh, like if God loves or I'm reading about forgiveness or whatever, then like, why am I holding a grudge against people that I have no reason holding a grudge against? Like for context, David has texted me a million times and I haven't responded to David most of the times, and it wasn't because you did something.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of, proximity or whatever.
I forgive you.
4K, dude. 4K forgiveness. This is beautiful. But did I lose my train of thought? No.
So sorry.
But how I thought of you is I'm reading the scripture and I stopped thinking about I had a bad experience in this place,
Right.
and you're associated with this place. I stopped thinking about that. And I think about, oh, God's really good and like has given us people that actually care about us and love us. And just like, I just enjoy you. Like we're just friends.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So as I began to read the Bible and look at God, my eyes then, what I became was a friend.
Yeah.
What I became was more loving, more kind.
Yeah.
And I got to have, but now look at first guest, dude.
Here we are.
First guest. Anyways, yeah, keep
Sick.
going.
Well,
I'm also going to turn this TV off because there have been ads back here for the last
real.
hour.
just haven't touched it yet. Sick. I think I kind of answered your question in terms of what happened when I left that bubble and like began to make my own belief systems. It was I also just think it's a part of growing up too. Like leaving your parents' house is important. And it doesn't mean ministry school necessarily. It's college. It's,
Please, for the love of God, leave your hometown. At least for a couple months.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think there's something. Some people have really cool hometowns.
Yeah.
And I'm not like hating on hometowns or families, but there's just a perspective shift that can change when you're like, oh, this is cool.
And in our case, in Kansas City, there's a beauty perspective change.
You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of upset. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of upset that I'm in Kansas City because I can go anywhere.
Yeah.
I chose the middle of America. I could have picked the beach.
Bro, we got the flyover states here.
Dude, this is frustrating. Yeah. Anyways, leave your hometown.
For context, it snowed 5 days ago, and yesterday it was 90 degrees.
92.
Where are we, bro?
It is ridiculous. Okay.
Oh, hamstring cramp. Sorry.
Hamstring cramp. You doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep trucking.
Yeah.
I feel like we're doing really good.
Yeah.
I think this is a good first guest, first interview. Okay. We talked about making it your own. I think we get into the fun stuff.
Nice, sick.
First impressions.
Yeah.
You want to go first? Want me to go first?
Okay, I can go first.
All right.
No, you go first. I've been talking a lot. You go.
This is perfect. You're the guest.
All right. Okay. I'll go.
For context,
Yeah.
let's set it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. David is a young man right now. Okay. An adult, living life. When we met, he was 10 or 12 years old.
Yeah.
Which was, you're 20 now?
7 years ago.
7 years ago.
I'm 19.
19. So like 7, 8 years ago we met. Kind of a long time ago.
Almost a decade. Yeah.
Damn.
So.
Okay. So I don't know that I remember the first time I met you, but my earliest memory was the Christmas party at youth group.
Which one?
The one you were not supposed to be at, I think. It was like, high school only, maybe.
I slipped in.
And like you and Tegan and Chase, you guys all slipped in. That's where there's a picture somewhere. I'll find it and send it to you. You had a giant ass forehead, dude. Your head was the same
It still
size.
is.
No, but
I just learned how to cover it up.
You grew into it.
No, yeah.
Imagine this size head, but like
Miniature
4
body.
feet shorter.
Yeah.
And
Great
the high school boys were like annoyed.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I remember. They were like, dude, like complaining, like middle schoolers. I was like, guys, it's fine. Just let them.
Is that really what you said?
Dude, 100%.
All right.
100%. You guys were very annoying.
Oh,
But
so annoying.
I told the boys, that's when we took the picture in the little with the little booth, right when you walked into the gym at the CTC. There was like a little booth that we made with like a gold backdrop. We took pictures. It was like, and like there was a big group of people, and then you guys were like just in the photos, and people were like, "What are they doing in the photos?"
I feel like you're mixing up two memories.
I don't think I am.
All right.
But maybe I am. But that was
Because I know a photo booth Christmas party where I was 16 and you were in the pictures with us on the couch. But you're talking about 12-year-old big forehead kid that's annoying. So I don't know. Anyway, moral of the story, what's your first impression?
Moral of the story is my first impression was this is the stereotypical annoying pastor kid, pastor PK, middle school, thinks he can do anything.
So since I'm the stereotype, from an outside perspective, what is that? Like annoying?
Oh, that's a good question. Okay, so have you heard of nepotism?
Okay.
It's just like you
Yeah.
could do anything, and you guys kind of could. You
Yeah.
guys could kind of go anywhere. Like
The big conferences, we were riding golf carts in the backstage.
you guys weren't going to get in trouble for anything.
Yeah, true.
And I really was fine with it,
But
other people were really annoyed by it. So I'd be like, guys, it's fine.
yeah.
But I didn't think you guys were bad kids. I just thought you guys were annoying. But you guys are middle schoolers, so I was like,
Right.
they're cool, they're chill. That was maybe less exciting. But I can give a second one.
Yeah. There's a lot of stories.
There's a lot of stories. I'll give you a second one. I'll give you my first impression in like worship and prayer.
Okay. My first impression of you is a little, I mean, I'll just go. Yeah. I knew about like your name from like hearing all the high school boys. Like it's like literally the
Reverse.
roles reverses. Roles are reversed. Anyway, all of them would be like, "Oh, Roy's my dad. Roy's this. Roy gets me everything I need." Or
Roy's
something.
my dad. It's a crazy sentence.
Something like that. And I'd just be like, "Oh, who's this guy? He seems super cool." And then you kind of just like paid no attention to me, and at my age and ego, I was like annoyed about it. And so I was like, "How do I get this guy's approval?" And honestly, this is past first impression now, but honestly, the way that I won your approval and got you to like me is just I would say anything that came to mind. Like I would just be myself. That's pretty
True.
much.
Yeah.
Because like every time I would try to be like cool or like goofing around with the guys, it was different. It was when I would say like the thoughts that would pop in my head.
And I would say something about it?
Yeah. No.
Or like, what do you mean? Like when I got my approval?
Like you started wanting to like hang out and would ask, like started being a little bit more warm, that it mostly happened on Cyprus trip, but yeah.
Cyprus. Okay. We need to give them some context.
Yeah.
Okay. First I worked at a ministry, helped run a youth group.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of did a bunch of different stuff, but I feel like helping run the youth group is the easiest way to put it.
Yeah.
Part of that was I ran a worship and prayer program, which essentially it was pretty big. I think we had 6 teams.
Yeah.
Right before I left.
For like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the biggest it got was like 6 teams.
Yeah.
But there were 6 bands of 10 people.
Yeah. All teenagers.
And it was 100% student-led prayer meetings, which was super dope.
Yeah.
Like, this is one of those things I said at the beginning, where you can say something that we did, and it's like you don't think about how cool it is.
True.
But think about this, the older you get, that there were 50 teenagers,
yeah,
60 teenagers that led prayer meetings for, I think, 3 hours. Was it, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It was like 3 hours on Monday and like 2 hours on Wednesday, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like student led.
I was trained how to be a worship leader at 14. Yeah.
We're going to get into that in a second, because that's really cool. So that's the context. And what David was referencing is dude, honestly, probably one of the trips of my life.
True.
We got to go to Cyprus, and we helped out with an event there together. And dude, I'm trying to think, like, do you have any like best memories from Cyprus?
Well, I mean, we stayed in the dopest resort ever.
I think it was a 5-star resort.
Yeah.
I mean, everything was included.
All on the Mediterranean, like right there on the
literally
water.
We could see it outside of our room. Like, the Mediterranean was just right there.
Food service. All the food was free.
Everything was free.
Yeah.
Room
all
service.
inclusive.
Dude, okay, actually, share a story about Cyprus. I'm going to grab something that's just right on this window from Cyprus that I still have.
All right.
But share another Cyprus. Actually, just give me one second.
You want me to share?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Number one story from Cyprus, for sure, was they had karaoke almost like 24/7. And there was like a whole room just for karaoke. And these are like Turkish guys. A lot of them are like Turkish people staying at the resort also, not for this event. But like none of them mostly speak English. Me and this guy get up there and we're like, let's do Bohemian Rhapsody.
Dude, that was the best 8 minutes of my life.
For sure. I mean, we were dancing and singing like there was 8,000 in the crowd.
Dude, I think we literally we just full sent.
Yeah.
And that was so fun. This is one of my favorite memories.
True.
This is read the label.
No way.
Don't open it. Do not open it. Okay, so
that's insane.
So what happened with
It's in Turkish,
This
yeah.
dude, this is for anyone listening, I just gave David a sugar-free Red Bull.
Yeah.
Okay. And so this is like one of my grail items in my apartment. If you can see, I have a lot of knickknacks around. But before we were helping work for an event.
Yeah.
And I was helping with audio and visual.
Yeah.
And so before I got there, they actually asked me, is there anything that you like that we can have for you in the green room?
What a question.
Dude, I was like, they paid for the plane ticket. They paid for my stay, like my food and this resort. And then they say, is there anything else that you just want? I was like, what the heck? Yes.
So sick.
Yes. And so I said, I love sugar-free Red Bull. David's a fellow fan. Did I put you on sugar-free Red Bull?
After that trip, yeah. Yeah.
Dude.
But like I was fighting for like the first half. I was like, bro, you don't have any regular ones. Do you remember that?
Well, they had regular ones.
I know. But like those were the only ones I would drink. So when they ran out,
yeah.
I would be like,
and so,
fine.
but what happened with this was I get there.
Yeah.
And there's only regular Red Bulls.
Yeah.
In the green room. And I was like, I didn't even say anything, but the person in charge of the event came and they're like, did you get your sugar-free Red Bull? That's the only thing I asked for. And I was like, no, like there's just regular ones, but like it's like fine. It's not a big deal. And dude, she low-key snapped at the resort staff.
Alice?
There was no.
Okay.
It was oh gosh, I cannot remember her name. She's from Egypt.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And her son was here.
Yeah. No,
her son still lives here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Okay.
Yes.
And so she kind of like made this big deal to the staff, and then like 2 days later, they're like, "Sir, here's your sugar-free Red Bull," and I was like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, there was none anywhere on the island," so they like went off of the island to grab a case of this sugar-free Red Bull.
bro.
And they
Pampered life. Yeah.
dude, this is great. And so this is in Turkish, and I will hopefully never open it.
It's valid.
I'm like always scared that like when I have guests over, like my brother was just here with his friends for the week, and it just sits on my ledge. It's this cool story. I was
if you wouldn't have said anything and I was like staying here with you, bro, it would have been dumb.
I would cry. I think I would actually like shed a tear.
Valid. No, dude, what I'm excited for is where I'm going for 2 years. Those things are $1 in USD.
Oh my gosh,
so
dude.
I'm hype. It's probably not good, but you know. Anyway,
that's funny. Another favorite trip from a favorite memory from Cyprus was you're gonna have to remind me on the details.
Yeah.
But we were there over Easter.
Were we actually? Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
They did a sunrise service that we were gonna go to. I think we both overslept.
Because we were probably up eating the
Dude, we did these fire dessert reviews. Yeah. You remember that?
Yeah.
We did a lot of videos. It was kind of hit. We called it something.
Content, dude.
Oh yeah, we would just say that. Like, this is content. This is content. We pull up our phone.
True.
I love that. Like I was doing that, and then he started doing it. I was like, dude, this is hype. That like we're just making these little videos.
True. Yeah.
But on Easter, they did. We did a prayer meeting. Do you remember that?
Late night.
Oh, it was like I think it was into Easter, and I think we did like one of the first sets of Easter.
Oh,
I think that's why we missed the sunrise. Didn't we do like midnight or something?
That makes sense. I think you're right. Yeah.
But that was cool to be, because how old were you at the time? You were 17?
15, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No, there was another thing that I would tell David all the time. I'd always say, I'll tell you when you're older. So that actually checks out if you're 15.
Yeah, true.
Okay, I'll tell you one thing. This thing it's really iconic, and it's absolutely something that I was supposed to tell you when you're older, but you're older now.
Okay.
You guys would take forever to come down for meals.
Okay.
And so I sat at the bar, and I was everything's included.
Uh-huh.
The bar was free. Like adult beverages were free. And so the guy I followed him on Instagram. We still like each other's stuff.
That's so sick. I forget his name.
It's like old Polar or something. Whatever, dude. It's whatever. I was like, dude, make me a drink. And I was like, I'm gonna drink until David and the girls get down for dinner.
Hold on, before you try to blame this on me.
Where's your head at? I'm not blaming you for anything.
I'm just gonna drink.
I'm not blaming you for anything.
Okay.
It's just something that I wasn't gonna tell you until you're older.
Got it.
I had 8 drinks.
No, I think you told me. You're like, bro, I'm a little tipsy.
Dude, I was way more than a little tipsy. I had 8 drinks waiting for David, and I can't believe I'm sharing this story.
That's when I tried for my first time trying alcohol. I'm pretty sure, because I'm pretty.
My drink?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
You're like, oh, whatever I don't see or something.
Oh my gosh.
4K. I probably.
Mr. and Mrs. Candler. I'm half sorry.
Love you, mom and dad.
Half sorry.
I only had a sip. Okay.
You had the apple drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think delicious. I remember that, dude. Yeah, the apple drink. But that wasn't that time. I think I had a couple drinks when I was there.
Yeah.
But I had like 8.
Most goated trip, though.
It was great.
10 out of 10.
It was super fun. Did you ever go back?
No.
No?
I was invited to go back to the same event the next year, but I think they gave my spot to Tegan or something.
Tegan.
Yeah. Anyway.
What a name. Okay. I'm trying to think what else to talk about. Okay. I think this will probably be my last topic, unless you have anything. I want to talk about worship leading.
Mm-hmm.
Worship leading David.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Are you actively leading worship?
Yes.
What does that look like?
Right now, or do you want me to start from the beginning?
Start from the beginning.
Okay.
And I'm going to fix the blinds while you talk, because there's like a glaring reflection.
Yeah.
Okay. Where did you start? Or start from the beginning.
Yeah. So I'll start.
And if you can, because I want people to get to know me a little bit more.
Yeah.
Share your story, but then share how like where I had an overlap in your journey.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I started worship leading at the same time. It was kind of intertwined with learning how to play guitar. I was at a summer camp.
Let's just keep going.
Well, anyway, we're going to work with the glare. So I was at a summer camp. I think I was 13 when I first learned how to play guitar, but it was like a worship leading class. There's no way I can just lock in after that.
You're gonna lock in.
Anyway, so I learned how to like.
You're at a summer camp.
Yeah, I was learning G and C on the guitar.
Beautiful, 1/4.
Yeah, and that nobody's gonna know what that means.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Which side note, while you continue to lock in from that atrocious drop, summer camp was the best time of my life.
For sure, but I didn't learn it at that summer camp.
Okay. Oh.
I learned it at a camp in Oklahoma.
Okay. Yes,
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember that.
So this was when I was 13. That camp I didn't go till I was in high school.
Okay.
Or junior high. Learned how to play a couple chords. Learned like maybe Jesus We Love You or something barely. And then I went home where my dad's guitar was like his pride and joy. I wasn't good enough to touch it. So I didn't really pick it up.
We
again.
won't unpack that right now.
We won't get into that. Anyway.
He's going to do inner healing before he goes out for 2 years.
Every time I see a guitar, right? So anyway.
Don't look.
All right. It's my dad's DNA. Yeah, so I really wanted to pursue it when I started doing that worship and prayer teenager thing that you led. Worship and prayer. And that was when I was 14. I first started, I was like, okay, I want to actually pursue this. I remember going to that other camp and different leaders going, I just feel the Lord is calling you to start.
The Oklahoma camp?
No, this is ATC now.
Okay.
Junior name drop.
If you know, you know. Shout out to the ATC crew, dude.
Anyway, yeah.
Shout out Dan Brown.
True. I just met with him. What a guy.
Shout out Dan Brown. PK and Dan.
Yeah, so
you go to this camp and people started telling you what?
They were like, we feel like, or they started praying over me, different leaders, not knowing each other were saying this, but kind of going, hey, I feel like the Lord is just calling you into to start worship leading. And, you know, playing and singing kind of like David in the Bible, whatnot, connected to that. And I was like, okay, cool. Maybe I'll start actually pursuing this. And when I was 14, I joined worship and prayer for worship leading before I was doing drums, which was really fun. I still love drums. But
you drum at all ever?
I drummed when I was overseas. When I was
that's hype.
doing sets, it was so fun.
That's hype.
I was not as good, but anyway, a lot of cajon though. But where was I? Yeah,
camp. You joined worship and prayer for worship leading.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, I actually really love. I started loving and enjoying it, and this is where I was starting to see you week by week.
Was I running the program at that time?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Okay.
You and Mercy. No, it was Olivia then.
Okay, I was gonna say I know Olivia ran it for a couple years, and I helped her.
Yeah.
And then I think when she left,
Mercy,
I took over, or was it Cassie? I think it was Cassie, Olivia, me.
It's all a blur.
It's all a blur.
It's all a worship leading blur.
Well, shout out Olivia.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, when I started, there's a whole different thing when you're sitting in your room playing guitar and worshiping to Jesus, than going and being on a team of teenagers trying to lead them. That was when it really, you know, I was getting really discouraged.
It's hard.
Yeah. Because it's also different if you're training to be a worship leader on a team that's very skilled and can help you.
Yeah.
Versus you're leading a bunch of kids that don't know much and you don't either.
Also learning. Everyone's learning.
Yeah.
And then maybe one person has done it for 6 months.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So there was a lot of, you know, it took a while. I remember having some conversations with my dad being like, I don't know how to get better and I don't know how to help them get better. Like, it was tough. And honestly, when I kind of broke through that barrier when I actually started. It's weird. When I started getting more falling in love with the Bible and more spending time with the Lord in secret, those things would overflow and it became less of a skill I wanted to do, more of something I wanted to do for the Lord. And so there was more of like a grace for it, if that makes sense. Just because I love him, I want to do this. Does that make sense?
Dude, I'm clipping that.
Yeah.
That's going to be short for all the worship leaders or aspiring, even like adults. I mean, dude, you are so weird. I just need to pick a different word. But like 14-year-olds aren't doing that.
Right.
So what you were learning at 14, people are learning at 21, 20 when they start, when they join their worship team band.
Yeah.
And so we'll continue with the story, but that's something that like I need you to hear that. David, you said you got better when you fell in love with the Bible.
Yeah. Doesn't sound right.
It's weird.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was there. I was your coach.
Yeah.
And my own experiences of leading worship and playing, you do get almost back to what are you beholding?
Right.
Are you beholding this idea of a polished leader?
Yeah.
Polished guitar player, polishing, and not to discount practice. Please practice and practice with the metronome. Not to like discount, say that's not important, but like the motives, and then you get better.
Yeah.
Okay, so
you will. I mean, just in general, you're gonna feel more connected if the worship leader feels more connected.
100%.
100%. And even that goes for not even just Christians. Like if you go to a concert and the person performing, they're not like actually performing their music from the heart, like you're gonna feel the difference and the disconnect there. But like I've been in worship leading contexts where I can tell that the heart behind it, I mean, it's like you're saying, it's all skill rather than like
worship.
Yeah, it's coming from their heart. You can just you can hear it. And again, it was next to skill and learning both of those things at the same time, but I think that was a huge thing. And then also, I think you played a major role in terms of putting me out there, like throwing me in the deep end where youth group would come around and I was now 15, probably turning 16, going, Roy, can I play on the team? And you're like, yeah, you can lead one song and start with that. Like, because you're smart enough to know that if you throw me in the deep end, like lead the whole thing, then that the youth group's not, they're not going to be led super well. So
you also would have got a big head.
Yeah, that's true. Also,
because that was more the idea, because you were able, you had the ability to. This is something kind of my second first impression.
Yeah,
I feel like the real first impression I had was you at worship and prayer.
Yeah,
because you're clearly a leader, and you have clearly been a leader for as long as I've known you. And then it was like you had some catching up to do in maturity.
Yeah.
That was like my first thing that I kind of noticed. But then this is kind of fast forwarding to impression, and something that like I think I love God more because of the growth that I saw in you. Not like solely you. I think that there are a handful of students, handful of friends, handful of stories. Just think of people that have like persevered or have grown or have good stories. That's like, oh, I love God because of that testimony.
Yeah.
David, your maturity from 15 to now, 15 to whenever I left staff and I was around you more. I mean, dude, I feel like when I left, you were like leading worship at youth group, like the whole thing, right? Like pretty consistently. Yeah. But just your biggest growth that I was like the most proud of is you got really patient. You got really patient, and you got more kind. You weren't very kind.
For sure.
Dude, you were kind of an asshole sometimes.
For sure.
Especially to Kaya. Kaya was our drummer. He's shout out our D1 drummer. That's my boy.
I also think shout out to my girlfriend 100%. When I met her, I was like, dude, I got to be kinder.
Dude.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, shout out good girlfriends.
For sure. But I also just saw the way that she was with other people. And I was like, man, it's no fun just being mean to be mean. Anyway.
You were a little mean, dude.
Yeah.
You were a little, I mean, you were
snarky.
Stud, good at guitar. Like, dude, you were, and like, right, like you had reason to be. But, I mean, just like from like a surfacey level, like, you had reason to be. But your growth and your kindness, and then to see you become a leader, dude, that's when I was like, dude, like, this is the coolest job I ever had.
Yeah.
Coaching you and
again,
Kaya.
Weird job. For sure.
Weird job. Very weird job.
But yeah.
But dude, I just looked forward to like that time with you. But that specifically is you were very immature, but I like, it was obviously there. Like, I'm not special for seeing what was inside of you. Like, anyone that had two eyes and could think rationally could be like, oh, David's gonna impact people and influence people. but it was cool to see you go from really snippy and kind of snappy with other people that are learning
Yeah.
to like, dude, I remember you like, there were certain times, I can't remember like specifically what it was, but I remember the times where you were like getting annoyed, quote unquote, with people for not doing the things that you knew they could do. I can remember you getting on to, it might have been your sister, maybe, but like one of your singers for like, guys, just sing. Not from like a sing, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But like, you can sing, you can do it.
Right.
Just do it. And I remember there was one of those debriefs where you were just kind of like saying, like, I just remember you were sitting up here, and I think it was your sister in there. She was sitting over here, and you were just like pulling it out of them. And that's when I was like, dude, I can quit.
Thanks to you.
Anyways,
That's sick.
I don't know where we're at in the worship leader journey.
Yeah, I mean, I started little by little playing one song at youth group, and and that led to it seems like from an outer perspective, it's like Roy slowly leaving the stage. But that's not.
I mean, just like to that point.
Yeah.
Is I think, and I would say this to the staff all the time, and this is like a principle that I live by. Yeah, is the mark of a good leader is that whatever it is you're leading will run with you gone.
Yeah, for sure.
And I feel like
you couldn't do that till you die. That's not the goal.
No,
right.
You gotta lead yourself out of position. And like one of my favorite, I don't know if you even read the book. We would do as a worship leader, they were required to come to my leadership class, and we had a leadership book.
What book? Say the book.
It was by John Maxwell, The 5 Levels of Leadership.
Oh, dude. I was late to those
dude,
every time.
I couldn't stand this freaking kid, man. It's like good stuff. It's not even my ideas. It's like this 70-year-old man who's like been leading people for 100 years. Anyways, that's one of his tidbits is, a mark of a good leader is to your thing can run without you, but then like there are levels to leadership. Yeah. And like you want to get to a point where then you are doing that for someone else, where you're leading leaders. Yeah. Yeah.
I think the next phase I would say is, so here I am, I have the skill of a worship leader in the sense of how much a 16-year-old can have, not necessarily vocally and guitar, but in terms of leading a room to look at Jesus. I'll just say it like that.
And a team. I mean, I want to give them context because the way you said it was just downplaying a little bit what you really do. But like something that we were very intentional about was participation. Yes. We want the room to participate. We want people to sing together. We want unity. And you did that really well. Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of the next stage.
Yeah. And I was going into this. So now I'm 16. I have, the skill necessarily. And I'm also reading the word, but I found myself at a place where
you're 16.
Yeah.
I just want some things, man. I just got to highlight. You were 16. That's weird. Keep going.
I found myself at a place where the person I was portraying myself to be on the stage, leading people to look at Jesus, was a whole nother person than the person I was off stage, hanging out with my friends and being rebellious. And that hit me in the face when I was 16, where I was like, I need to worship on and off the stage with my life, and, that the pastor's kid was still in me somewhere lingering. I was disconnected from honestly, I was just being a 16-year-old. I was being immature. I was being as rebellious as a strong Christian 16-year-old can be, bleaching my hair and buzzing it. And anyway,
so bad.
That phase, that was the phase that I would do all these prayer meetings at school. I would lead at worship every week. And then I would go off and mouth off to people, gossip about people, or talk bad. I would be disrespectful to my parents consistently. And the Lord was like, hey buddy, what are you doing? Kind of woke me up one summer when I was 16. Actually, my cousin was preaching. I remember it was from Jeremiah 2, never let anybody look down on you because you're young. And that was a big turning moment where I found myself at a crossroads going, I want to worship the Lord with my entire life. And I started, like you're saying, what we've been talking about, becoming what you behold. I started filling myself with nothing but the Lord. And that wasn't a religious thing. That was, I was burning and hungry for him, that I didn't even want secular music anymore.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say bad things about people. I started listening to teachings all the time, Christian music all the time. And my walk and my talk began to change and shift dramatically into being 17. That was senior year.
I think that's super cool that you said that, because I'm experiencing a little bit of that now.
Yeah.
Where I love secular music.
Right.
And I don't have a conviction about most of the secular music I listen to. But recently, this is weird, guys. This is weird. I'm telling you, this is so weird. Recently, I have like subbed out my secular music for sermons. That's weird for me.
Yeah.
When I really noticed it is, dude, my ritual every time I eat, I'm an iPad kid at heart, dude. I'm putting my phone up and I'm watching First Take and I'm listening to Stephen A.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, I'm arguing with whoever, whatever sports thing they're arguing about. I'm dude, that's dumb. That's a good point. Like, that's my thing.
Yeah.
Okay. If I'm driving or if I'm eating.
I mean, that's a hobby. I mean, that's just fun.
I love it. Yeah. It's super fun. The other day I turned on First Take, 10 seconds in. I was like, I'm going to listen to this sermon.
Let's go.
And then I was like, what the hell am I doing? I listened to the sermon, but the point was, I think sometimes people think like, oh, like I have to give up this because of Christianity.
Right.
Dude, it's like you said a word that like has punched me. I've been hungry for it.
Yeah.
It's like as I've gotten born again or whatever I'm experiencing, it's like I'm just kind of like hungry for different things. And you know what? I still love First Take.
Yeah.
And I'm still going to watch it. And I'm still going to, listen to the secular pop music that I like. Or, saying like it's not bad.
Right. Christians can be so black and white.
Yeah.
And the other people viewing Christianity can see the same thing.
Especially the people that the bubble that we grew up in.
Yeah. Either right or wrong.
It's this or that.
Yeah.
And I think there is a gray. I think some things are, I mean, what does Paul say? Some things are beneficial. Some things like.
Yes. I'm blanking.
Saying, but not everything is, it's not good or bad. There are just some things that are just. Most
of life is gray.
Most of life is gray.
Yeah.
Dude, most of life is gray. And that is my saving grace. Most of life is gray.
Valid.
So you get hungry.
Yeah.
You hear this Jeremiah 2 message.
Yeah.
Your approach changes.
Yeah.
Now where are you at?
So.
Or where in the story is it? Just keep going.
Yeah. I am now going into senior year, and the Lord has changed my desires. Like, I now desire like weird stuff. Like, everything's different now. I feel more awake, alive, and I think another big moment was when I went to a conference in LA called Gen Z for Jesus. I was hearing of all these groups that were starting at schools, Bible studies all across. And I was looking at my friends like, we should start a Bible study. And just because I had the prayer meeting thing going, I had worship leading going, but I wanted to know how to talk about the Bible. And meanwhile, while my desires are changing, I'm listening to all these teachings, getting filled up and nowhere to pour it out. And honestly, I think a lot of times when you talk about something that is impacting you so much, it hits you times 2 when you talk about it.
Yeah.
So I didn't have an outlet for that. So I was like, we should start this Bible study. And I started it in my garage, 3-car garage. So there was enough space. I went and thrifted this big, like, vintage looking rug, put it in the middle, strung lights, dope setup. And then kind of the layout was we worship for an hour and we would pick a Christian book to walk through as a group. And it was so fruitful for my walk with the Lord.
Dude, those things were packed.
Yeah.
I saw pictures and you invited me to a couple.
Yeah. You played piano for a couple.
That was really beautiful just watching.
Yeah.
Because I just felt like, my experience of it was like, dude, David's just like loving God. And look at all, dude, it was actually crazy. Like, There's just a lot of hungry people.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good note for anyone that is young, or not just young. Like, I feel like I'm experiencing a little bit of this now.
Yeah.
Of like, I'm kind of just talking to people and being like, hey man, I'm just trying to like, I like sports and I'm trying to love God. Like, do you want to hang out? And that's the guy that I was talking about earlier, how we met. And then there's another guy that I met playing basketball, and he lives close by, and we're trying to love God. And it's like, just to the point of like, I mean, it almost is going back to the second commandment comment that we're talking about. Community and opening your mouth.
Yes.
Those were cool. So how long did those go for?
That went for 3 years. We just did the last one a couple months ago.
Wow.
Maybe 1 month ago. Yeah. So, well, not necessarily. So I did the first year, and then I went to the MAP school. My sister took it over, Avila. She ran the whole thing. And that kind of caused the crowd to change a little bit in terms of age group, but still went strong the whole time.
Wow.
Then I came back and we did it together. And so during that season of starting that Bible study, I found myself not only loving to worship with other kids, worship with my buddies, and have freedom to do that, but also freedom to talk about the Bible.
Yeah.
Because, like growing up and being in that bubble, being honestly just going to youth group and going to, church, there's a point in time where you just don't want to be preached at anymore.
Yeah.
Like 100%. And I found even from that first night of doing these Bible studies, something sparked in these kids when they were like, oh, there's a safe place for me to ask my questions and for me to talk through my beliefs. Like, what does it mean to love God more? What does it mean to not live in sin? And, working those things out in a community of kids that all want to love him more was huge. And I just saw that and heard so many stories being impacted. Like, thank you for starting this, And I was like, man,
how many people would come? Like help paint a picture for us.
Yeah. The first 3 were like popping. It was like max 60, 65.
In a garage.
Yeah. And then it leveled out to like 20 to 25 like consistent kids coming.
That's still a lot.
Yeah.
This is, again, one of those things where we just say, and we don't realize how weird and cool that is.
Yeah. I mean, the age was like 11 to 20 that all these kids would gather.
That's wild.
Every Saturday night. And that was the other thing. Saturday night was a big thing for me because it was like, that's the weird part as well. It's like, let's go worship and talk about God rather than hang out with our friends.
Yeah, on the busiest,
one
free
free
night. Yeah.
So it was fun, and we'd always get food after, and then the hang would happen. Yeah. So I did that consistently up until leaving the next year in August. Throughout that entire time was pretty much finishing senior year, applying and deciding to go to MAPS, still doing worship leading all of the time. And then honestly, that summer too, I just think that entire year through that Bible study, I wasn't just reading the Bible anymore and liking it necessarily because it's good, but I got addicted to doing the secret place. And when I say secret place, I mean Matthew 5 or 6, I don't remember. In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus talks about prayer. And he's like, don't be like the Pharisees who heap up empty phrases in public, trying to get other people to look around and go, oh, that person's religious. But he says, but go into your room, lock the door, and pray to your Father who sees you in secret. A one-on-one appointment with God. And I found that in my desk every morning. And there's not a right way to do it. There's not a perfect algorithm. You just kind of start. You find it along the way. And that was one of the things that fed me that year for sure, leading up to going to MAPS. But yeah.
This is a point to anyone that's like not sure about Christianity. Is like, God is just so accessible.
Yeah.
Which is weird. It's weird, dude. And it's really cool. But I think that's really powerful. Like, yeah, there isn't a do this, do that, and then this happens.
Right.
It's like, just do it.
Be in relationship with him. And it doesn't look like it will for the person next to you. It's personal to you.
So, let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
Because I think that people, I think people that don't know anything about Christianity or have this idea of church, they don't really know what that means when people say, oh, it's a relationship.
Yeah.
Talk about that, but then also like talk about that from what it means growing up. You kind of were a Christian your whole life, quote unquote, kind of.
Yeah.
What does it mean now that you have a relationship? How is that different than like, oh, I went to church and
For sure.
I tried not to say swear words, and that was kind of like, what is a relationship like with the God that created us? That's weird. What is that?
So I think going to church in a Christian sense, in the way we look at it in the Bible, is a very important thing, because you need to be in the body. You need community.
Yeah.
You need other people, and you want to go worship Jesus. And then preaching is proclaiming, the good news, telling who he is. But there's that community aspect and the body aspect. But there's also a whole nother part of Christianity that some know about, but others don't, where you can have a personal relationship with him yourself. And that's, Jesus models that when he says, go into your room, lock the door, and pray to your Father who sees you in secret. I think for me, I gave my life to Jesus when I was 7. I was on vacation, and my family, we were at this like little resort place, and I walk back into the room that we're all staying in, and I hear this song playing, Jason Upton, Psalm 23. I walk in, and
shout out Jason Upton.
Yeah. And I feel the presence of the Lord for the first time, and I start crying. And I was like, I don't know what this is, but I want to give my life to it because it's real. Like, it's real. It's not just we're going to church as a family. Like, oh goodness, this is real. And so it wasn't like, you should give your life, son. It was like, do you want to do this? Thank God for my parents.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of my salvation moment. And then of course, 7 until 12, I was an annoying kid growing up. And then honestly, like we were saying before, worship leading was what caused the Bible to unlock for me, because I was singing all of these truths, but when I actually found them in the Word, it just began to overflow, and then it would cause my heart to overflow behind a microphone, and so, but I would say really when my personal relationship with Jesus started to take root and develop was when I went, okay, I want to worship him on and off the stage. What is it going to take? And he started feeding me. My desires started changing. I wanted nothing but the Word, like the first thing in the morning. And honestly, the last thing before bed, just filling my mind. Paul says we're transformed by the renewal of our mind. And honestly, I want to go back to your question just to make sure I answer it thoroughly. You said, what is it?
What is a relationship with Jesus look like? Like, yes, for you personally.
Yeah.
But dude, low key, like preaching the gospel to someone like might be listening to this. Like, what does that mean that I can, like, God wants to know me personally?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. So, 2,000 years ago, a man came who happened to also be God. He was fully God and fully man. And
weird.
He who knew no sin, he was perfect, became sin. He stepped into the world. The biggest culture shock ever was Jesus leaving heaven, leaving the throne to come be among his people. He grew up as a normal, people don't realize this, but he did 30 years of life before he did any ministry. He was a carpenter. Like, nobody talks about that.
Nobody talks about he was a teenager. Nobody
talks about that he was just a normal guy living life with his father, in personal relationship, walking through life. He wasn't doing signs and wonders for 30 years. It was only for 3, which is crazy. And what we can take away from that is that Jesus actually wants to be a part of your everyday, regular life because he knows it.
Yeah.
He doesn't just want you to become a Christian so that you can perform signs and wonders.
Yeah.
That was huge when I found that out. That was at MAPS that they showed, that opened my eyes, where he wants to be a part of your, I'm getting up and I'm going to work and I'm really tired. How can you bring Jesus into that? He's available to talk.
Yeah.
He's available to, best conversationalist ever. Sometimes you don't hear a lot back, but every once in a while, he speaks in whispers. And I just love that because there can be just this need of like, I need to be a super apostle or a super Christian,
Right.
And
especially, I don't know if you necessarily felt this, but the bubble that we were in, that felt like the expectation.
Right. Because everybody was giving their whole life for ministry.
You have to give your whole life to do this whole thing, and it's worth it. And like, I'm sure it is worth, like, I think what you're doing is worth it. But for that to kind of be the expectation, like put on to people, I think is actually more detrimental than it is helpful. And it's been one of the most beautiful things at the church that I'm at now.
Yeah.
Is like, everyone's just normal.
Yeah.
Dude, my boss, the pastor, the lead pastor, he comes into church today. He's like, dude, I planted plants in he was building a plant thing, like to garden. Such like normal things. Like that dude just like, the only time I've hung out with my pastor has been watching basketball.
Let's go.
Like, it's just, he's a normal guy.
Yeah.
And I think there's power in the like mundaneness of what Christianity, I think actually for most people is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
you are very niche in going in full time being a missionary.
But again, I'm just doing that for 2 years. Who knows what I want to do in 5 years?
Right.
So it's not a sign up for the rest of your life type thing.
Yeah.
It was never meant to be that.
Yeah. We're deviating a little bit, but we'll wrap it up this point with this. Tell me what you think about this, I guess. Something that I can't stand about Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. For anyone that's curious, there are more questions than there are answers, I feel like. In that faith is a huge aspect of it. Like, we can't really explain this. You're going to stop watching your favorite show and listening to your music to read the Bible. Like, I can't explain that. That's weird. Yeah. Maybe you can, but can you explain being changed because of like, you just read the Bible and then like you slowly get changed? That's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not like I hate this about Christianity, but I hate this about Christianity that I have to believe in something that I can't rationalize, understand, or put in a box.
Because it's divine and like God can't be fit in a box. And that's the beauty of who he is. It's like he made our brains to only comprehend so much. And so when there's something that goes outside of that, we go, no, it's too much. Like, we want to bring it to what we can know and understand. He's like, I'm so much bigger than that. Like, open up my word and you'll be changed.
Yeah. And I say it's annoying because like I want people to experience it.
Right.
But it's like you kind of just gotta like really give it a shot.
Yeah. And don't do it for a week. A shot means really consider it. Like,
it's weird.
That's what I would say. Yeah.
It's annoying, but it's weird.
Yeah.
But this is something that I actually had a conversation. I actually talked with Zach Hensley for like a little over an hour, like a week ago on the phone. Okay. That's so dope. He just made time for me.
That's sweet.
But I was just shooting the breeze, asking questions about, I have a lot of questions in my beliefs. Yeah. And one of the things we were talking about was we just love people and God does the rest, which is kind of exactly what you said you're doing over in the Middle East.
Overseas, yeah.
You're kind of just doing life with people, and then like God kind of, or an opportunity comes up where you get to share God.
Yeah.
And I think that like you having this idea of like, oh, well, I can't be mouthy with people. I need to like respect and be kind to people. That is also a form of worshiping.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's like when people see, oh, this person is turning the other cheek, this person is humbling himself, whatever we're doing that the Bible says to do.
Yeah.
I feel like that's when people are like, oh,
yeah.
What's different?
Yeah, literally.
I don't know. I don't know exactly what I'm saying. It's cool. It's annoying, but you just gotta, if you're interested, you should just try it. And you can shoot me a DM or.
Sadly, don't have socials.
No socials for this guy, but I'm
off the grid.
I can forward the questions. He's a theologian, and I'm just a wannabe podcaster. I guess
I'm not there yet, but
not there yet. Okay, This is how we'll conclude, I think.
Okay.
Unless is there anything you're burning? Want to ask, talk about anything?
Honestly, no.
Cool.
I feel like this has been a good, thorough convo.
It's been a very thorough convo.
Yeah.
I want to end with this. The point of this whole show is that's the second camera. That's all right. The whole point of this whole show is for people to be encouraged to do and be the person that they feel they were made to do or they were made to be.
Yes.
You're doing that, I think, which is why I'm inviting. I won't invite someone that I don't think isn't doing that.
Yeah.
I'm only interested in having conversations with people that are doing the thing, whatever it is. I don't really care. What is your thing? But this is a niche conversation specifically about Christianity, specifically about, everything you've talked about, which is, dude, you've lived like I don't want to say like an intense story, but like you've made bold choices as a not even 20-year-old. It's weird. Like, I don't know if
could be true.
Huh?
Could be true. It seems normal to me, but yeah.
Right. To you.
Yeah.
But like most people your age are not leaving the country, leaving their family.
I did have a thought about are you going to ask me something though?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Yeah. Just as like, what would you say to somebody that maybe I feel weird doing this because I don't love this all the time. But if someone like is kind of itching and they're like, oh, like I want to say yes to God in a more serious way, whether it be missions or whether it be whatever it is they're doing, like what would you say to that person? And then before you answer, there's one story that I can think of that I don't think I've ever shared with anyone publicly. But when I was running ATC, I was in charge of Shoutout ATC. Yeah, camp.
Yeah, again.
I was in charge of the airport runs.
Okay.
So a lot of those days, dude, I would be at the airport all day.
Like picking up,
dropping off, making sure someone would bring the shuttle up. And then I had a couple people, we'd get people to the gate, whatever. And there was one kid. I wish I remembered his name. I don't remember his name. But they were distraught, dude. They were like, dude, I met God this week. Do I come to school here? Do I move to Kansas City? Do I do ministry? Like, I've wanted to go to college my whole life. I've been accepted, like all these things. Like he's just going off. And I was like, dude, I think you should just go to college. And he was like, wait, what? This dude's literally in line to board. He's like asking this, like we've walked together for 5-10 minutes. And then he asked me this question right when he's about to get on the plane.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, it seems like God has actually really put it on your heart to go to school. He was going to like med school or something. I was like, dude, it seems like God really wants you to do that. You should do that. He's like, wait, really? You're not telling me to throw it all away and come to a ministry school? I'm like, no. Yeah. Like, do you feel that way because you had an emotional week and people here are doing that? Or do you feel like, are you intrigued because God's putting on your heart? Right. So it seems like God really was like, I think God really wants us to do what's inside of our hearts to do. I think whatever that's kind of the point of this show is you doing what you feel you were made to do. I think that was actually put in there by God. Yeah. Or whatever you believe. Wrong. But you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So what would you say to someone that is feeling that like itch to say yes to God in a radical way? Start a Bible study, do missions, not do missions, just choosing God at a young age.
Huge question.
Huge question. Take it whichever way you want.
First, I would say, well, what you just said is I think there can be a pressure and a stigma to do what seems countercultural, or in other words, what you don't want to do, when really God is a father that actually wants you to decide, like, I'm going to be with you. Like, you pick. I think most times that's actually the case.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, really quick on that point.
Yeah.
There was a teacher that I had in high school. I had graduated high school. I was debating if I should move to Kansas City. Right. And I went to this teacher from a couple of years prior. Yeah. And I was bugging, dude. It's like, do I go? Do I not go? Yeah. And he said, Roy, a lot of times we are in a car at a traffic light thinking that the light is like, we're waiting for it to turn green, but it was never red. Like just go, and like God will stop you.
Right.
But I think that's a great point that people don't think about. It's like, just, I want to go with you. God as a father is, just want to go with you. Keep going with that.
I mean, I heard a story, similar analogy, a dad taking his son, like his little boy, to go get a birthday cake. And he's like, which one do you want? And he's like, I don't know, Dad, you pick. It's like, no, which one do you want? Like, this is your birthday. And he's like,
a great way to put it.
He's like, you pick, Dad. You're smarter than me. You know. And he's like, no, I want you to pick. Yeah. And that clicked. I was like, oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Dad just wants to get the birthday cake.
Right.
Yeah, that's great.
So anyway, I would say that point for sure, that the Father loves you and he wants to do life with you, and he wants to give you to the desires of your heart. The other thing I would say is, when you find your tribe, you find your destiny. That's a big thing they say at MAPS. When you find the people, I would say this, for those that are Christians or even not, like Roy said, it's important to leave and go somewhere you haven't been, taste other ministries, taste other colleges, or what it would be like. But the reason I am going and doing this is because I found people with a DNA that I want, that was already in me a little bit, but I didn't know it. But like, if it wasn't for MAPS, I probably wouldn't be going. Like, I wouldn't be Lone Ranger and going to the Middle East. You know, that's just not smart in general, with no connection, no nothing. Right. It's because, community is so huge. And most of the time, when a group of people are doing it with you, longevity-wise, you'll do that thing forever. Yeah. So I think that when you find your tribe, you find your destiny. And a lot of the times that might even just be a family thing too. Like, I know of families that throughout their walk of life and moving different places, they stay together in the household, but also in ministry. I mean, that's a tribe. Yeah. And, so there's nuance to that. And then I want to answer thoroughly your question. You said just to love God in general.
Yeah. I mean, or like, how do I say this? I mean, like, you were a weird teenager. What teenagers are giving up their Saturday nights to do Bible studies? And like, we didn't really get into this, but I think we can probably assume that when you started to live what you were, live off stage like you were on stage, that probably affected your friend groups. Did your friend groups follow suit? Did they, like, whatever, but like, the person that's afraid to choose God because what are my friends going to think? What's going to happen here? Like, just to the person that wants to choose God, what would you say to them?
Oh man, there's nothing like the adventure of knowing Jesus. There is nothing like the journey that you will go on. You can't compare it to what your friends might think or what your teachers or school might think. Like, it is the journey of life, is just to know and be known by God. That is it. And, when what we do on earth now has everything to do with what we'll be doing in heaven. Like, I had a realization when I was about 17 starting that Bible study that there's more to Christianity than just salvation. Because if I get saved and then live my life just the way that I think I should, without community, without listening to the word or, church history or my parents even, just living life the way that I desire, sure, I might go to heaven, but I will be filled with regret because this is the only time you have one life. Yep. Hebrews said is appointed unto man once to die and then the judgment. And everything we do on this side of eternity has to do with that side. And so it's like, I want to know Jesus more by the time I'm 80 than right now. So what is that going to take? Right. And I think if you're wanting to get closer to Jesus, just start by making an appointment with him like we're doing right now.
This was on the calendar.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, put it on your calendar, like 7 to 8 a.m. I'm going to sit with the Lord. I don't know what
or
it's gonna
7 to 7:05.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it does start, like, you can start small. I know you were just saying, like, as an example.
For sure.
but like on the schedule. But like that's something I was like, dude, let me just start with the page.
Yeah.
Half a page, this
Literally.
little whatever, and it compounds.
The Lord will use that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not looking for the most. And yeah. So did I answer that well?
Yeah, I think you answered it well. I don't think I have any other questions.
Amazing.
Any other topics, unless there's anything else you're burning to
Mm-mm.
ask. All right. So that concludes my first guest.
Let's go.
You know, I'll say this, David, before we like sign off.
Yeah.
Is it's been cool to have a small part in you growing up and watching you grow as a worship leader and all these things. And in some ways, it's like I was helping students with whatever like their dreams were at that moment.
Yeah.
And now you are kind of living it. So I think it's cool that like I got to play a small part in that. But what is more special, and like I was getting a little emotional about earlier, was like I feel like right now you just having this conversation with me, recorded. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you are now like doing that for me, because my dream that I've had as long as I can remember has been to just be inspirational. I want to help people discover who it is that God has made them to be.
Yeah.
Through that unseen people would feel seen, that unheard would feel heard, that the unloved would feel loved.
Yeah.
Through family, discipleship, and mentorship, and the extravagant giving of time, money, and prayer. Like that's my life vision. It has been for the last, I don't know, 7-8 years.
Yeah.
Like that phrase verbatim was given to me, and that's too good for me to come up. Like that just came out of my mouth one night.
Wow.
When I was praying. And so this is like one of the medians that I want to do. Like I just want to have conversations with normal people about things they're doing. And so you saying yes to talk on this podcast that has 12 views and I'm like 9 of them, I feel like you are, you know, saying, hey, like I believe in you. And so thank you for making the time, dude. Like seriously, it means a lot.
100%, bro.
So that's it for the first guest. I have some more coming up. If we didn't really hit this at all, and I wasn't planning on doing this, but David as a missionary is fully supported by people that give you money.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like support what you believe in.
Yeah.
So if anybody is moved by David's story or intrigued by David's story and you would like to partner with him, can I say this? Is this okay? If you want to partner with him, send me a message and I can get you guys in contact.
I would love to connect. Yeah.
He'd love to share more about what he's doing. I mean, we talked for maybe an hour or a little longer, but I'm sure there are so many other things that God is doing that's happening that you probably didn't share. Yeah. And we didn't even talk about your sister going with you. Like there's a lot to David. Like this is a very, very solid young man that is really loving God in the best way that you know how, and is doing something, and like there's real change, real impact. And so if you're moved to partner with him, let me know and I can get you guys in contact. This wasn't planned. He didn't ask me to say that.
I did not.
No one watches this anyways.
Maybe one of the 3.
Dude, maybe one of the 3.
Yeah. Let's go.
So that's it. And I'm supposed to have a sign off. What is it? Control what you can control. Make it a great day. And we'll catch you on the next one.